Hey, so today I'm here to share with you guys our favorite 3-year-old toys and gift guide. Now, if you're new to my channel or my videos, I make one of these every single year for my oldest daughter to let you guys know what she's been liking for the past year and what I think would make some of the best presents or gifts for whatever holiday or birthday or occasion you might be having. And I'm going to link everything that I can down below. These are all based off of what my 3.5-year-old daughter Sophie likes. She'll be 4 and 4 months, and at this point we won't be getting any new toys or anything like this, and these are all things that over the past year I've seen her gravitate towards. So I thought I would just go ahead and share these as I typically do every single year. So the first thing right here is something that I believe we got her for her 3rd birthday, and this is the Boogie Board Scribble and Play. Now, I can't find one of the little pencils that it comes with, but basically you can just write all over this board, and as you can see, this particular one is rainbow underneath, and then you just hit this button right down here, you click it, and it erases. It's super thin. They're really nice to like put in your diaper bag, take in the car, stuff like that. I will say they're very, very durable. I've had my kids step on them a ton of times. They throw them, you know, stuff happens. So they're very durable. I will say that they, you know, they look a little expensive whenever you look at them, but as long as you buy from a good place that has a return policy, just in case it for some reason doesn't work, you're gonna be fine. I think it's an investment well made. Sophie's in that kind of wanting to doodle stage, and this allows her to do that endlessly. So it's a very, very good idea. The next thing is something that was in one of my kids' Easter baskets. I don't know which one it was, but it's these Kidnoculars made by Educational Insights, and they're exactly what they sound like. They're just a giant, comfy pair of binoculars for kids. I will say that the image on these, it's not amazing. It's not like an amazing pair of binoculars, but for a 3-year-old who is just learning, she definitely loved these. I think that they're really durable. Again, toddlers play pretty rough, so you need things to be durable to last long in your house. And these are just something that time and time again, she loves looking out the windows and looking at a whole bunch of different things with these. They are pretty inexpensive. I found these on Amazon. I found a lot of these things on Amazon. It's basically where I do all my shopping for my kids, just because it's easier. We really don't live around a bunch of kind of any toy stores or stuff like that, or even stores that carry a lot of toys. So we basically have Walmart, or we have to order stuff online, and I choose Amazon because they have a pretty wide selection of things that you might not typically see in stores. Next up on the list is the Aqua Doodle. This is something that I wish I would have found sooner. You could definitely get this for a younger child, but my 3-year-old absolutely loves this thing. Now, what this is a mat, and as you can see, it's pretty white on top, but it comes with these water pens that you just fill up with water. It's got a felt tip, and then it will kind of get wet the more you use it, and when you mark on here, it'll expose the colors that are underneath. So if you look really closely, when she marks over here, it's blue, this is red, on the other side there's green, and there's purple, and it does open up. It's just way too big to show you guys. So we did get a second one that was an off-brand. It was cheaper. I figured same thing, who cares? However, not the same thing, at least not in our case. I found that the Aqua Doodle, it writes nice, it dries nice, everything in between. Really do think that it's worth the $30, because the off-brands just don't seem to do as well or come with as nice as markers, but I just want to recommend that because it's something that, again, they can draw on and then they can leave alone, and when they come back, it's going to be all erased and they can start all over again. My kids get a kick out of it, especially Sophie. And then next up is a Christmas gift that Sophie got, and this is one of the only Christmas presents she actually really asked for. She wanted a camera just like Mommy has so she could make her own videos, and that's what she got. So we got her this Vtech one. There is a newer model, but it had just came out around Christmas time and it was $50. This one was $35. So I got her this one, and it works great. And again, it is super durable. As you can see, this thing gets dropped a lot, not even on purpose. It just gets dropped, and it's done super well. Absolutely no problem with it. The batteries are on either side right here, and it doesn't actually have like a viewfinder or anything, but it does have this little screen. It has games. You can take video, you can take picture. You are going to need a memory card with it if you want your kids to be able to look at their pictures. That I did not think of. I mean, it's a camera, so you know, common sense tells me a memory card needs to be involved, but I totally overlooked that aspect, so we had to order one for her. It took a couple days to get here, but nonetheless, this has been just a huge favorite. She loves taking pictures with it. She loves taking video with it. I've seen her set it up on her table and pretend to be me making a video a couple of times. It's just so cute. So if you're on the fence about this, it's definitely worth looking into, because I know my 3-year-old has definitely got a kick out of it. Next up is something that I cannot hold up and show you because it is too big and it's meant to be on the floor, but these are the Ganj river stones. Now this is something that Sophie got for her 3rd birthday, and I'm so glad we did. This is something that just allows her to use her creativity. It allows her whole body to be in play, and that is just the best kind of toys for my kids. She loves when she can climb and jump and just also use her imagination, and this allows them to do everything. It makes me really want to look more into the Ganj brand in general, because they have a lot of other toys as well, but I thought this was a nice kind of entry point. It is $60. That sounds like a lot, but honestly, these things are worth it. You will not have to replace them unless you're doing some crazy things in them. However, like, the plastic is very sturdy. They have like rubber grips around the bottom, so they don't skid even if you were to use them on a slippery kind of floor, but we use them on carpet. And it's just been amazing. You know, they can set those up however they want to. They'll turn them over and like rock back and forth in them like they're little boats. Like, there's just endless amounts of play. It is a very open-ended kind of play toy, and I just love how much energy they can exert when using this. And I know $60, like I said, sounds like a lot, but honestly, after seeing a year's worth of it being used, first of all, they don't really look like they've been used at all, and that's kind of the beauty of them. But also, it's just so worth it. They're definitely worth the investment. Next up are the Lego Duplo. Now, I have them in a big bin, IKEA bin right here, and this is definitely not all of them. Half of them are scattered across the floor, but we have a couple different sets of Lego Duplo. I got these for my kids because I saw that they weren't really playing with their Mega Blocks nearly as much. They weren't as challenging, so I decided to go down to the Duplo, and they have been a hit, especially with Sophie. She loves the concentration that it takes to build stuff. She'll build towers and wands and houses and a whole bunch of other stuff, and she really does love it. Some sets also come with people or pets and animals, different stuff like that, and those are also great too, because she really loves involving some pretend play into her building. And if you're just, you know, your kids are hand-on and they like to do things like that, I definitely recommend that. I just want to mention the Lego Duplo because I hear a lot of people talk about Legos or Mega Blocks, but I haven't really found a lot of people who like the Lego Junior or Lego Duplo as much. The next thing that I wanted to show you guys is also another kind of block toy, and this one is pretty heavy, so I'm going to set this down rather quickly, but these are called Playmags. Now, these are like magnetic tiles. So I have a whole stack of them here, but that's basically how they go in there. And you can make a whole bunch of different stuff. I started looking into these when my kids started to become less about mag formers. They just weren't super challenging to the girls anymore, so I noticed they weren't really playing with them as much, especially Sophie. And that's when I started looking into magnetiles. However, magnetiles can be super pricey, and I just wanted to give this brand a try. I was curious if the magnets would be strong enough to build stuff, hold things up, stuff like that. And I can say that this Playmags brand has been great. It has held up well. They're durable. I feel like the magnetics are very strong, so no complaints there. They're not cheap, they don't break open or anything crazy, so I do think that this brand is worth looking into. We do have a few sets of these as well, so we have a ton of different options. I will say with these, I feel like you need to have a couple of sets to build things worthwhile. We could build like one giant house with the first set that we got of 100, but now that we have well over 200, it's like we can build whatever we want all day long. And it's just something that time and time again, Sophie is constantly playing with. And I did want to recommend, if you get them the Playmags, I would recommend this little board that Playmags makes, and it's basically another magnet, so the things will stand up. I just wouldn't recommend that because this is also, again, something Sophie loves to build her houses on because it'll stay standing opposed to just building on carpet. Sometimes it falls over. Next up is another big thing that I have to show you a clip of because it's too big to hold up, but it is the little Tikes Dual Twister, and this is something that we actually got for her younger sister, but she has loved it. So whether you have 1 or 2 kids or even more, I definitely recommend it, especially for this age, just because Sophie got on this thing and she instantly knew what to do with it. She just loves going to town on this thing, but I did want to mention it because it's one of those toys that, again, it uses their whole body to play with, but at the same time it doesn't take up a ton of space. I feel like it's pretty reasonably priced. I think we got it around $35–40, and it's just really great. This specific one can also be used outside as kind of like a sprinkler, but I would say to either keep it an outdoor toy or keep it an inside toy because I'm not sure that you can open it up and dry a lot of the parts off or anything from inside, so I'd just be worried about like mildew or anything. But I absolutely recommend that toy. Also, another big item is the Melissa and Doug shopping cart. I knew that this would be a huge hit, and I went back and forth on different brands of what to get as far as the shopping cart was concerned, and I'm super glad we went with the Melissa and Doug, and I will explain to you why. A lot of the other ones kind of looked a little finicky, and honestly, even looking at the Melissa and Doug, I kind of felt like maybe it'd be a little cheap. And the Melissa and Doug one is pretty expensive. I believe around the holidays it can run up to like $60, but you can catch it on sale and it'll be around like $45. And honestly, the whole time I'm thinking, is that worth it? However, my mom got that for them and she was comfortable paying that, so she went ahead and got it. And this thing is so sturdy. It is literally a mini shopping cart. So something you would expect at a grocery store, just imagine a smaller version of that, and that's what your kids have. It also has different little, like, I don't even know what to call them, but these extra little spokes on the bottom to help prevent it from tipping even more. And it, like, I don't know, it's very safe all around. They can play shopping, they can run around the house putting different crap in it. Sophie pretended it was a library cart just this morning. It really allows for a lot of different ideas for the kids to use it as, but at the same time it's also very sturdy, it's very safe. I recommend it. But it's also really heavy, so if it does tip over, try to make sure a child's not going to be underneath of it because it is pretty heavy. But it's just a really great toy, and I know it's going to last for kids to come. Next up is something that I think that is more recently becoming like a trend in kids' toys, and that's making pretend things come to life, and it is play sinks. Now, this one that I have is from Walmart. We spent $15 on this. If you see this in store, it's worth spending $15 on. It's not the best quality. It definitely has things that could be fixed with it. It's not like, I don't know. I definitely can see why there's like 2-3 stars on Walmart for it. However, I'm going to link you to a little Tikes version that I see a lot better reviews for. It seems to be better quality, just all around a better concept and better execution on the design. So like I said, the Walmart brand, it's worth $15, but if you're looking to go a little bit harder or you want to invest your money a little bit into something that's going to last, I would look into the little Tikes. But nonetheless, it's basically the same concept where this top part, it's going to lift off, and then you just fill this bottom part with water, and then you go ahead and you just turn this knob over, and it's going to turn the motor on, which will squirt water out from here. And you can probably hear the motor going. But it does come with different stuff. You know, there's a little scrub brush, and there was different dishes as well. But it's one of those toys that I feel like I wish I would have had as a kid. The kids love playing with it because it's water, it's fun, it's different. It's like a mini version of what they see their parents doing a lot of the time. So again, it's just definitely just right in that preschool range where they love to pretend play and everything, so definitely recommend that. Next up, I have a couple of games, and that is something that I've definitely noticed with Sophie being 3 years old. In the past year, she has really enjoyed playing games. She loves board games. She just loves them to death. So for Easter, I did get the girls this Pancake Pile Up game. It's also made by Educational Insights, and I can't recommend this game enough. It is $20, and I would pay that all day long. It is definitely worth it. It's a very well-made game. You have 2 plates, 2 spatulas. There's 2 little butters in here, and it looks like my husband took out the cards. On the back, as you can see, there's these different cards that show different orders of the pancakes being stacked. So they have to try to put these pancakes on the plate according to whatever card they have, and that's, you know, the whole name of the game. So it's a really fun, simple, easy game. There's 2 of every pancake. So this one has chocolate chips, there's banana, there's plain, and strawberry. There's a whole bunch in here. It's a simple enough game where there's not a ton of rules that she has to follow or anything like that, but at the same time, it's pancakes. It's silly. It's fun. It's just, I don't know. It's a really cute game. It's very, very well made, so definitely worth the $20 on that. And then the other game she got again for her birthday, and this is Sophie's Seashell Scramble, and it's also made by Educational Insights. It has like the fine motor with the otter where you pick everything up, but with this one, you are spinning and collecting seashells. You have these different cards like this, and you're just trying to get the different seashells. I mean, there's so many. We just had this out this morning, so it's a little bit of a mess, but this game is amazing too. We constantly have this out all the time, and the girls love it. And Sophie can really understand just the basic concept of trying to collect what she needs to and stuff like that, but there are different ways you can play these games. You know, it doesn't have to just be simple. You can gradually increase, you know, what you want the game to be about to fit their older age, or, you know, even someone smaller like my 2-year-old, I can kind of water things down for her. So that's the reason why I love those games. If you're looking for board games for toddlers, Educational Insights, just the way to go. The next thing is something that's very nostalgic for me, and that's Mr. Potato Head. I had one when I was a kid, and, you know, she loves it just as much as I did. It's super fun. I don't really know what else to say about it other than it's just about being creative. And I do like that it comes in this little carrying case. So all the parts are nice and neat, but this is everything that he particularly comes with. I do also think that Mrs. Potato Head is also an option, but this is just the one my sister got her. I feel like 3 and up is definitely the age for it because it does have some smaller parts, but also it's just harder to stick the stuff in his little holes. So, you know, when she first got this, she wasn't the best at being able to push things in, but now she definitely is. So again, just a pretty simple and easy toy, but something she's loved quite a lot. Next up is one of Sophie's favorite things ever, and that is puzzles. Particularly the My First Puzzles by The Learning Journey, and this is a 4 set. And basically each of them have a different amount of pieces to them. So the pig only has 2 pieces, cow has 4, horse has 6, and this picture back here has 8. So it's just, that's as simple as it gets. And then on the back of them, it does have the number so you can keep them together. But with this one, I liked that there was different options available and she could slowly work her way up and better understand puzzles. It was just a nice, good starting point for her. So I wanted to mention it. And we have other sets, other puzzles now, and I definitely just recommend this brand in general. Really good. And then the last couple of things that I have to show you guys are more kind of hands-on toys, and that is Kinetic Sand. Now, I don't really know how to show you this because it's kind of odd, but Kinetic Sand is just, I don't know, this really fun kind of take on Play-Doh, I feel like, even though I know Kinetic Sand has been around for a long time. You might know it as like moon sand. There's other names, but basically it's this sand that, you know, it looks shapeable, but it's also like melting in my hand as well. So as you can see, it's all coming apart. Hopefully that's getting it for you guys. But you can mush it together and pack it just like regular sand. So there, I put it back into a ball after you guys saw what it could do. So it's really interesting and it's fun. I got this little guy for Sophie in her stocking last year in Christmas, and she has loved it. Now, I will say I definitely think that 3 and up is the age, because if your kid's still about putting things in their mouth, I would not go with the Kinetic Sand, because it's, you know, it can start to get loose, and I don't even want to imagine what it would be like in their mouth. Probably not great. But This stuff is amazing. I personally like this better than Play-Doh. It picks up a ton easier. You can just kind of morph everything together. It doesn't stick in your carpet, and whatever you can't get, you can sweep up. And honestly, that's what I've been doing with this. And even though I've had to sweep it up obviously a million times, we still have a whole thing full. So it's not like, you know, you lose a ton every time or anything. So if you like Play-Doh but you don't like the mess, I would look into Kinetic Sand. But with that being said, we still love Play-Doh in this house. We have a whole set of Play-Doh here, and it's just something that Sophie really loves and enjoys. Like I said, the cleanup's not my favorite, but you know, I love playing with Play-Doh, so I understand where she's coming from. So there's a ton of different sets you can get. I'll link to the one that's most like the one we have. It was like $10. Play-Doh, you just can't go wrong with. You just might want to ask the parents first if they care about the cleanup. And the very last thing that I have to show you is the Fisher-Price Princess Castle. Now, I think there's more of a name to it than that, but I don't really know it. But basically, it's just the Disney Princess Castle by the Little People in Fisher-Price. And this thing has just been a huge hit with Sophie. Sophie has seen all her Disney movies except for Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, but that's only because they don't have hard copies out for us to buy. But nonetheless, she still knows who they are. But she loves this thing. She's just at 3 years old and almost now 4. I just feel like she's starting to get to the point where she really loves pretending. You know, she knows all these characters, she knows what they're like, she knows all their different sayings and stuff. So we have a whole set of the Disney princesses, and this was also like, it comes with a couple, but my grandma got the additional pack of them. So we've got Snow White, Rapunzel, Cinderella, Jasmine, Tiana, Belle. I think like the only one that's not in here is like Pocahontas, Merida, and the specific castle also sings some of their songs, and she just can't get enough of that. Her favorite's Tiana. She always repeats that wishing on stars quote. That it's so cute. It comes with a wand. You can see like a little bit of magic happening every time that they play with it. Honestly, it sounds corny, it sounds cheesy, but it's true. Can't go wrong with it. If you want, you can get the extra dolls, and I think they're at Target mostly, but just by far and away one of the best toys that we have here for her. And you don't just have to stick with the Disney Princess either. They have a lot of different toys as far as the Little People go. Just Little People in general, I think you can't go wrong with those toys, whether you have a toddler, preschooler, whatever. But that is everything as far as our favorite 3-year-old toys and gift guide goes. Like I said, I will have everything that I can linked down below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.